me now is the Republican congressman from North Carolina, Greg Murphy, back here on the Hill. Congressman, thanks for being with us. I should note to you off the top here, if that press conference in Pennsylvania happens, we're going to jump to it. But thanks for being with us. Of course. So you sent out a letter to your constituents, and I read it. It recently said the priority in Washington is to ensure our neighbors receive the federal assistance that they need. It was 4 weeks ago, November 18th, that the White House said $98 billion is what we need. And here we are, and it hasn't come. Why?
Blake, I think a lot of the things that were sent down by Biden's administration had a lot of things in there that should not be in for disaster relief. And that's given some individuals a fair amount of, and I think deservedly so, heartburn. The North Carolina State General Assembly passed a bill for disaster relief, sent it to Governor Cooper. He vetoed it. They're trying to override the veto. This needs to be not only a federal response, but also a state response. That said, there have been a lot of things with FEMA. They apologized last week because they basically weren't truthful about the number of trailers being sent to Western North Carolina. But this is something that there is extreme urgency to be dealt with. I mean, temperatures are plummeting up there in the mountains, and we need to get this done. We don't need people blocking it. We need to take out some things that don't need to be there, but we need to get this done in D.C.
I hear you about heartburn. I was on the local Asheville paper, the Citizen Times today. Here's the headline, Congressman. It says thousands of private bridges were damaged during Helene. Nonprofits are helping to rebuild. It says that there were 7,000 reports of damage to private roads and bridges in Western North Carolina. 2,700 households have received some funding, $8.2 million. The more applications are pending. There are some Republicans in the House Freedom Caucus who are holding this up. You talk about the heartburn. Andy Harris is the Republican head of the Freedom Caucus. As you know, there was the Key Bridge in Maryland which went down, and he gave an interview, Congressman, in which he said, will it all get done? Talking about Key Bridge funding. Will it all get done? The entire $2 billion? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we can make a down payment. And here's why I bring that up, Congressman, because it seems like there's some who are saying, when there's tragedy in my backyard, I'm good with spending. When there's tragedy not in my backyard, heartburn, as you put it. And it sounds hypocritical.
Well, it's nonsense to do this. We are a nation. That's why we have states. That's why we have a federal government to help in times of need in different states, be there wildfires out in the West, tragic, hurricanes that happen on the coast, or ones that, hell, go up the Ohio Valley like this is. This is a time, actually, that we need to come together as government. That said, I don't think wish lists or parks or somewhere else as far as disaster relief needs to occur. But we need to get moving with this. There's enough of the obstructionism. There's enough of the, hey, it's not 100% perfect. I'm not going to vote for that kind of bill. We've seen that way too many times, especially in the last 2 years here. It's time for people to understand that we're here as a federal government to help people in times of need. But what has happened in Western North Carolina is biblical. It's sad. It's been there. I've been out there. We need to help those individuals. We need to help them yesterday, get through the nonsense sent in by the Biden administration. But we also need to get our state and our federal partners working yesterday to make sure that the folks get the relief that they deserve.
Congressman Greg Murphy, Republican from the eastern part of the Tar Heel State. Got to leave it there on a busy news night. Thank you, sir, for being back with us here on the Hill.
Take care, Blake. Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.